Welcome back to episode 34 of the Shy Sports Weekly Podcast. We got a good show coming your way this week, folks. We got big guest Lester Wiltfong from Windy City Gridiron. We got that interview coming a little later in the show. We talk Bears with him. But for now, Ty, Kyle, how we doing, boys?
Happy Thanksgiving, belated. Again,
Happy belated.
let us be the last to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. How was the weekend? Stuffing, Ty.
Let me tell you about stuffing, dude.
So, what'd you eat on Thanksgiving?
I stuffed that stuff in like there was no tomorrow.
I'm gonna say I was waiting. I mean, you took
Three words out of your mouth.
Get sexual. It was longer than I thought.
Let's get sexual. I ate it all, dude. You fucking name it. You fucking name it. I ate it. I mean, that's all there is to it. So,
Eat cranberries.
cranberry sauce, yeah.
What's your least favorite side on Thanksgiving?
Least favorite side.
You don't look like a green bean casserole guy.
Don't hate it. Don't love it.
Brussels sprouts?
Love a good Brussels sprout. I mean, I'm pretty hard pressed to find something that I don't like at Thanksgiving dinner.
You like mushrooms?
I'll fuck with mushrooms.
You're a psychopath.
No, it's called.
You
being
don't
an
like
adult, dude.
you don't like napkins. That's what you don't like.
Yeah, I hate napkins. I love making a mess.
You're a messy eater, huh?
Sometimes
Ham, turkey, neither or both.
ham.
Really? Ham over
I
turkey?
I eat the turkey, but if you,
1000%. I agree. I ham over turkey 10 times
Yeah.
out of 10.
if you took the turkey away on Thanksgiving, I wouldn't even bat an eye.
You guys are fools. You should actually put a poll out. It's too late now. 'Cause
Hey, if turkey,
it's a week later, but
why do we only have it once a year?
Well, some people have it on Christmas too.
Well, actually, my family does.
So there you go, dude. Twice a
so
year.
I don't think you come
Yeah.
home on a Tuesday to your girlfriend pulling a ham out of the oven either. So
That's what you think. We ham it up pretty good over here, dude. Honey glazed.
You're a psychopath. It's kind of cool. All right, let's get into number 34s. Who wants to start? Ty, can you name a 34? There's a lot of 34s.
you can't. That's pathetic.
I can't name it, but allow me to show you it.
Good thing this is a podcast.
The man, the myth, the legend, dude.
Nice.
Walter
Peyton.
Payton, for those who are listening.
I like
Is that
video.
signed by him or is that just a pic?
It's literally just a picture. I got it when I was like 8.
Why is that not hung up? Why is that on the floor?
Like-
That's like the American flag. That should be
John O'Neill's 8. He keeps it in his favorite spot on the floor in the corner.
behind
Of
the
his room.
slider.
You know what's funny is
The
it's been
guitar.
sitting here since I moved in 2 years ago,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
along with the other goat,
Another freak.
Michael Jordan. Just a frame.
Another 34.
Exactly.
Ty,
You feel like 34 is one of the better numbers in Chicago sports history.
you nailed it. All right, Max, go ahead. Give us a 34.
All right, I'm sticking with the Heat. I'm going Kerry Wood.
Ooh, Kid K.
I mean, what else do I need to say?
How can you not? Well, I'll go right there with you. I'm going to go John Lester.
Excellent. Excellent.
You think they're going to be like how Fergie and Greg Maddux had their numbers retired? The two number 31s. You think Kerry Wood and John Lester are going to have 34 retired at Wrigley?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
You think they're going to retire 34 for Lester and then not retire it for Kerry Wood?
I mean, I feel like Lester deserves it more than Wood. No offense to Woody.
Yeah, but if they're going to do John Lester, it's like he's close enough where it's like, all right, we'll throw you in there, Kerry. Thanks for that 20 strikeout game. In the game 7 home run, but you fucking lost. But now we don't need to bring that up today.
I mean, put it this way. Nobody is complaining if Kerry Wood gets his jersey number retired. So I don't think it's I have no issue with it at all.
Give us a Bulls guy.
Why not Bill Wennington?
Ooh, Billy boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's rocking the Fu Manchu heavy right now.
Yep. Big center from the 90s, master of the goatee.
Oh yeah. Hog and a half. I'm going to go, man, I'm looking at the Sox, number 34s here. Fuck, this is a list and a half. I'm going to go Freddie Garcia.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
somebody's horny.
Ew.
It's a good one. I don't know why you wouldn't go with Kobach though.
Well, I mean, that's the obvious choice. He's hot as shit, by the way. But, I mean, Freddie Garcia.
He's a pretty good pitcher too.
How many World Series does Michael Kobach have?
None yet.
None, yeah. That's what it is. All right, Max, can you name any Blackhawk number 34? It's crazy that I have one that's like so dumb.
No, I honestly can't.
Damn, I didn't even know there was actually a 34 on the Hawks now. I didn't even realize it. The guy I was gonna go with is Dylan Olsen. He played for the Hawks for 1 year in 2012 for like 15 games, I bet. Let's see how many games Dylan Olsen played for the Hawks. Shit, I just clicked on his name and an ad came up. That's not good. 28 games for the Hawks, Dylan Olsen.
Should have taken the over.
Yeah, you should have. I'll give you another one. The guy on the Hawks currently wearing number 34, Kevin Lankinen. Tandem goalie with Marc-Andre Flower.
What about Carl Soderberg?
Yeah, he was there last year for a bit, but that's another one. Let's tie. I'll give you over under. Let's see. So he was in a shortened season. 28. Let's go 28 games. Over or under 28 games
Who?
for Carl Soderberg
Under.
with the Hawks. Oh, over 34.
Oh, how ironic, dude.
That actually is kind of ironic. Look at that. And that's planning.
All right, Kyle, I got to ask you about this one guy, Jean-Francois Berube.
Berube.
Who the hell is that?
It's exactly who you think it is, dude.
Oh, he was a goalie. He just went by JF Berube.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right, so this is another game. I bet you he played less than. I'm going to say he played less than 10 games with the Hawks. Over or under, tie. JF Berube.
Over.
Max.
Under.
13.
Ooh.
So there's a trend here. If you wear number 34 with the Hawks, you are not going to have a
You're
long.
not going to last.
You're not gonna have a good time.
You're going to last long. Not. Like, this is crazy. All these, like, and even Kevin Lankinen, he's actually number 32 this year. So he changed from number 34.
Well, it's because he fucking saw a trend and decided to do something about it.
Not. All right. Let's get into a couple tweets. We're going to go just two quick tweets here. One Bears, one Hawks. The Bears one, November 25th, 2007. Actually, when Jay Cutler was on the Broncos, Jay versus Rex Grossman, a game that went into overtime. The Bears ultimately won it. Devin Hester, a punt return and a kick return for a touchdown. This was an awesome game. What do we remember about it? Max?
Yeah.
Well-
Well, you asking me?
I remember Devin Hester literally being surreal. I think I saw someone ask a question recently, like, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Like, that's without a doubt. There's no question. But yeah, Devin Hester was ridiculous in that game.
Yeah, so in this game, Cutler actually had 302 yards and 2 tutties. Grossman 193 yards, 1 touchdown. Bears scored in the final seconds actually to tie it, to send it to overtime. I remember this game, Mike Shanahan had Jay Cutler running a couple read options or just option plays, designed runs for Jay. Rewatching this, these highlights, kind of crazy to be honest with you. Seeing Jay just fly around out there. Ted Alabama saying that the Broncos aren't scared to kick Devin Hester, that their guys get paid to play football too, which is actually funny in the sense that 2 weeks after that game, the Broncos released Todd Sauerbaum. So he was talking a bunch of shit, saying that he essentially wasn't scared of Devin Hester, and then he actually got hurdled for one of the touchdowns. So yeah,
I'm watching these videos. Soldier Field was absolutely rocking. Sauerbaum got hurdled, and then he kind of tripped and just Pester blows right past him as he tries to make a feeble attempt at a tackle.
So actually, I'm reading this article more. Sauerbaum got released because early in December 2007, he was there was some legal trouble stemming from an incident outside a restaurant in early December. He had a court date for an assault charge. No idea what happened. Don't care, but fuck you, Ted. Devin Hester, Doug. Second on this day that we have, nice special one in our hearts. Recurring guest John Scott absolutely pummels the shit out of Kevin Westgarth. We talked about this with him on the pod back in March. When did we have a March?
Mm-hmm.
That was when Max introduced him as a Stanley Cup champion and then shit his pants. He thought John Scott was just going to eat him alive.
Sean, you'll cut that, right?
I won't. What was the date on that one, Kai?
This one is November 27th, 2010. Again, the best part about this clip, I mean, obviously, Scott just beating the shit out of this guy and him being bloody as hell is Pat Foley saying, and you've been thunderstruck. It's just perfect timing and the camera cuts right to Westgarth's face and he is just dripping blood. It's perfect timing. I know, Max, you probably have nothing to contribute to this one, but what do you think?
I mean, I'm watching it right now. The slow motion video is just incredible. Like, you see Westgarth take a punch to the cheek, his head just starts shaking. Like, it looks like he's made of rubber.
And the fucked up thing is that Westgarth fought John Scott not even 2 weeks later at the United Center. And it was like a great bout. It was perfect.
I think John Scott said, he's like, you got to respect the guy for coming back.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. That guy's got balls of steel. It's not whether you win or lose, it's whether you show up. And he did twice. So good for Kevin Westgarth.
It sounds like the Bears mantra.
Yeah. Fuck, that actually is. Unfortunately, that applies to both fighting in the NHL and just the Chicago Bears. Well, speaking of the Bears, you want to throw it over to Lester?
Let's do it.
Here you go, Lester Wiltfong. All right, folks, we have a big guest this week. It is Lester Wiltfong from the Windy City Gridiron. Lester, how are you?
Doing good, guys. How you guys doing today?
Good. Another day in paradise here with the Bears, huh?
Yeah, this is how the Bears have been though for quite some time now. They're just not as, besides the 1 year, of course, with Nagy's first year, the last decade has been kind of just like, creeping along, just doing good enough and
purgatory, basically.
Exactly. Football hell is what it's called. Yep.
Football help. I don't know if you know this, but Matt Nagy is the winningest coach on Thanksgiving history.
For real? Oh, it's all the Lions. Oh no, the Packers too, right? Was that?
No, that was John Fox.
Okay.
He's three. Wow. Yeah, it's all the Lions.
Before we get too deep here, why don't we have Lester plug his social media and podcast and all that shit?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's my social media. I'm on Twitter at WiltfongJR. We also have the WindyCityGridiron.com. The Twitter account for that is at WC Gridiron. And of course, we got a podcast with I think there's 4 or 5 shows on there now. So you can find the podcast pretty much anywhere the podcasts are at.
Awesome. Let's just get right into it. Dive right into it. Let's talk a little Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Our baby boy. So just overall this season, it's been kind of an up and down 2021 with him not starting the beginning of the year and then coming in. How would you evaluate his play, your likes, dislikes, all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, when you watch his play early on, you can kind of see why Matt Nagy wanted to bring him along a little slowly. For me, my big issue with him was, does he understand the pass protection as a rookie? If he doesn't understand where the blitzes are coming from, and we saw him get blasted in preseason. So that was a big concern of mine. Of course, then you also have the Bears O-line is not the best. So you're like, you want to make sure he could protect himself fully. So that's why I was okay with him coming along a little slower. Of course, the injury to Dalton happened. He had to get in there. And we saw early on, he did take some sacks that were his fault. But his last few games, I thought he was much better in the pocket. He wasn't the best against the Ravens in that half. As far as actually his throwing the ball, but he was pretty good overall. The last few weeks, he's had plenty of wow moments. With his legs, with his arms. I mean, it's too early to tell for sure, but I still like what I see from Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to blame the O-line for obvious reasons, but if he's holding on to the ball for too long, thinking he
Yeah.
can get away with stuff that he did at Ohio State, he's going to learn the hard way, unfortunately. So, what are you kind of hoping to see out of him rest of this season and heading into the 2022 season?
It's just growth. I mean, he has to be smart with the ball. I mean, that's one thing he has to do. I think he has some picks this year that kind of were bad decisions. Again, the stuff in the pocket, he has to understand where the rush is coming from. Getting things set. Also, it'll help him having a veteran tailback back there for pass pro too. Because when it was when Demo was out and it was the rookie Herbert, he gave up a sack. So it's not a good formula to have two rookies back there at the same time. So I just want to see him again protect himself, be smart with the football. I just want to see just enough wild plays. I don't care if the Bears lose the rest of the games when he's playing, as long as we're seeing him progress as a player, as a decision maker, and that's what we saw a little bit from him already.
I think at 4-7, that's all we really care about at this point.
Yeah. Let the rookies play and let's go.
Yeah, that's honestly what we've been saying the past couple of weeks. It's like this team is obviously going nowhere.
One game out of the playoffs, though, so
they still show up in like the bottom right corner of
in the hunt.
Yeah,
In the hunt. There's a path. I could spin this any which way to us in the NFC Championship game. Don't test me. So going on the Fields with Matt Nagy, and this is kind of a two-part question. Do you think Nagy is at all holding Fields back to, kind of his true playmaking ability? And then what do you think has been the biggest difference in the play calling for when Andy Dalton's under center compared to when Justin Fields is under center?
I'll answer the second part first. I think there's just more of a trust factor with Dalton. I think Matt Nagy and Bill Lazor trust him to execute the entire offensive game plan because they know that Dalton's seen it all. They know that Dalton's not going to be confused by the defense. It doesn't matter what they do. They know Dalton will be able to at least execute to a point. I think with Fields, you're still holding back a little bit. For the life of me, I don't understand why they don't do more play action with him, more stuff where he's not in the shotgun, because it eliminates some of your options. Get him under center. If you are going to be in the shotgun, then I want to see more run pass options because again, it gives him a chance. I want to see more rollouts, and for some reason, I hope Nagy's not sabotaging him, because that would just be petty to the max. I mean, that would just be ridiculous if he's really doing that. And I mean, it's possible because we have seen his ego shine up a few times the last couple of years, but I hope he's not doing it. I think he's just between him and Bill Lazor, they're not good play callers. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, everyone's excited. Oh, it's Bill Lazor time. He sucks too. He's not a very good player. I mean, there's a reason why he was out of football for a year. I think he was a consultant for a college, during his gap year. And then the Bears brought him back in as their OC. So, I mean, he's okay. He's still young enough where maybe he'll get better, but I haven't been impressed with him either.
That's the thing you've seen even in the past with, or things you've heard even last year with Mitch under center, was that the Bears weren't moving the pocket at all. I mean, Mitch obviously wasn't a pocket passer. He was better when you're, at the end of the year with Lazor. Granted, the defenses they were facing were shitty.
Yeah.
But, they were doing a lot of play action, moving the pocket, screens, stuff like that. And I think Fields is better than Mitch. I mean,
yeah.
God, let's hope he's better than Mitch.
Oh God, he
but,
better.
I mean, just having having him sit back and be a pocket passer for 25, 30 times a game just isn't it. I mean, let him use his legs. Shit, he's the most athletic guy on the team.
Yeah,
right. It just seems like there's football minds all over the league and talking heads that are kind of just like salivating at what they think they could do with Fields and expanding the playbook and things like that. So I mean, to your point about it, just feels like everyone in Chicago with two eyes and a functioning brain can see that Matt Nagy is doing the team wrong. Like what's it going to take for the front office to clean house? Do you think they're just holding on to everyone because that's the Bear way and they've never let anyone go mid-season, or what's the deal there?
If it's going to happen, it'll happen this year because of the brand new rule where you can actually start, trying to find coaches. What is it, week 17? So, So if there was ever a year for the Bears to buck a trend, this is the year. And you have to think that there's no way Nagy's back. You have to think that George McCaskey, especially if the report's true, where he actually came out and he told them to start Fields. So if he's if he's doing something like that, then he must realize I made a mistake. I never should have brought these guys back in the first place if this is what he's doing. So you got to expect Nagy's gone. Ryan Pace, on the other hand, who knows? But I think with Matt Nagy, this has to be the year he's gone. And then you have still a ridiculous management structure with McCaskey, Phillips, and Pace. But if you're a coach, I mean, this is still Chicago. It's still the Bears, and you get to work with Justin Fields. So that's a pretty good draw for a prospective brand new coach.
But I mean, going off, I guess, counterpoint to that and playing devil's advocate, while it is Chicago, it is the Bears, it is Justin Fields. I mean, if you're coming in as a head coach, I mean, I'm assuming if they fire, under the assumption, let's say if they fire Nagy, they fire Pace. You're coming in, they're hiring a general manager. I mean, if you're the general manager, do you know that you're really calling the shots with, Ted Phillips and George McCaskey, coming down saying, we need you to start Fields here? I mean, it just kind of seems like you don't have the autonomy you think you would.
George, I mean, I've said it on my show and other shows. I just think George does not know anything about football. I think he's just a fan.
I couldn't agree more.
I think he just likes being the guy that's like, buzzing around camp. And it's just like, well, you serve no purpose. I mean, he has no football background. He won the genetic lottery by being a McCaskey. That's why he runs the Bears. Let's be honest. I mean, I just don't see the franchise making the right decision because I don't trust George McCaskey. Maybe the board will step in and they'll do something else. But again, Nagy's got to be gone. I mean, that's at least. And then the whole Ryan Pace, there's been a lot of buzz about him maybe stepping up to a different role with the franchise, whether it's president for Phillips, so maybe they go that route and bring in since Ryan Pace is the football guy, maybe they bring him upstairs and bring in a new GM. So there's a lot of ways this can go. But again, it's, you have to hope that the prospective coach can look past, the troubles in the front office.
Yeah, I don't want to go to too dark of a place. So let's talk about some young pass catchers. And I feel like we've seen some promising things out of guys like Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet. What do you think about them? Like, what is their outlook for the future with the Bears? And as another point there, what do you think they're going to do about Allen Robinson? Obviously, he had a major letdown season this year.
Yeah.
I still think he has a little bit of gas left in the tank, but do they let him walk? Do they tag him? Like, what do you think?
I just think he's gone. I can't see him coming back. I mean, his agent is pretty upset with what's going on. His agent, made his tweets private because, there was a bunch of stuff going out there. So I just can't see him coming back. I think he'll be a true pro the rest of the way. But I just don't see it working out unless there's some great rapport with him in Fields down the stretch. Then maybe something happens. But I just think the Bears are already moving past that. That's kind of why we've seen a guy like Mooney as their top guy this year. I think they're trying to, whether the coaching staff is doing it on purpose or just kind of the way that the organization has fallen, they seem that they want him to be their top guy. And I like him. I'm not sure he could be the number one receiver. I think he may be better as a 2 or even a 3 in the slot, but he has some skills. I mean, he has good speed. I think he needs to get a little bigger, a little stronger, but there's definitely promise there. And then with Kmet, I like Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet, where he was picked didn't make the most sense to a lot of fans. I wasn't really happy with the pick at the time where it happened, but the pick is a couple years ago now. So what can he bring your franchise? And I think he could be one of the better Ys in the NFL. And I know that's not saying much because everyone wants to have a guy like Kelsey or Waller, with doing the really big flashy plays. That's not Kmet's game. Kmet is more like a Jason Witten type. He's more of a guy who will find a hole in the zone. He's 6'6", 260. I mean, he's a big, strong
unit.
Yeah. Kind of set up over the middle and move the stick.
And he's, I think, the 4th youngest Bear on the current roster. So, his best football is ahead of him. I don't think he'll ever be Travis Kelsey or a guy like Ertz. He's just not that kind of a player, but he can be a guy that catches you 50 passes a year. To me, that's a good quality Y.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you'll take it. Well, it's funny you mentioned that about Mooney. Kyle and I talk about it all the time. It's like, vintage Bears move to take a 4th or 5th round pick guy who's got some talent and he's clearly a 2 or 3 on a different team and try and make him your number one receiver. Like he's just not that, but I do think he's a great piece.
He gives me Johnny Knox vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, kind of just like his build, his speed. He's wiry. I mean, he's like on the Bears. Yeah, they're gonna try to make him a number one, but I feel like on a good team like say that if he's on the Chiefs, it's like maybe he's your two if everything goes right. So a quick question: what are we doing with Jimmy Graham? Why is he on the roster?
I think with a guy like him, it's all locker room presence. I mean, the players love him. The him and Cole Kmet have really good connections. The Bears trust him. I mean, the Bears have kind of moved away from the U tight end a little bit this year anyway. There hasn't really been a lot of Graham. I think he's only averaging 15, 20 reps a game. So, they're not using him much. They're using Cole Kmet more in that spot, even though that's not where he belongs. But he's athletic enough. I think next year Graham will be gone. And I think you're going to see the Bears target a true move tight end, either in a draft or free agency to pair up with Kmet.
Isn't Graham under contract for next year? Or if they cut him or anything, will they be on? Do they have a certain dead cap or anything like that?
What they did is they added void years, which is a Ryan Pace special. Is they take it's like a fake year, but it's a way to take some money off of this season, move it into the future. So essentially, this is his last year, but they move some money to next year. So if they do re-sign him, that's part of the cash for next year. If they don't re-sign him, now they're going to have the cap hit on next year's cap.
I love that. That's just like a future me problem that he's like, I'll just deal with that.
It's common. I mean, it's the Bears do it. The Bears do it a lot, but I mean, I look around the league and there's a lot of teams that do it. But I think the Bears do a little too much, and the Bears do it too much with guys that you shouldn't do it with, like a guy like Graham. Dalton has void years. I think.
How many Nick Foles has void years?
I think Foles may have a void year. It's just like it's a way to move money around, but it's like I understand the cap goes up each year. When there's no pandemic, so that's what they're expecting. But I don't know, certain guys I can see it for because you hope to re-sign them. But certain guys like Jimmy Graham, you're not bringing him back. So why give him void years just to save some money this year? I don't know.
So with the Bears not having a first round pick next year, how do you think they kind of attack the offseason? How do they patch together this team? Do you think they try and make trades? Is it late round picks, like free agency? What do you think? Who are you hoping they target, or what do you think is kind of their plan?
Yeah, I think they're going to be players in free agency to a point, but they have to re-sign a lot of their own guys. Roquan Smith is due some cash. They're going to free some space up, but they got to get a second corner, because I don't care if it's free agency or your first pick in the draft, because it's not Kinda Vildor, it's probably not Artie Burns. It's not Xavier Crawford. The DBs on this team is horrendous right now.
Yeah.
And it's sad because you have a guy like Jalen Johnson who is really, really good. But if you're a quarterback, why would I ever throw in that direction when I can just pick on when it's Burns or Vilder all day?
Yeah, I think last show we were looking and Vilder is ranked like bottom 5 in PFF.
We were literally just ripping on him during the Ravens game. We were shooting the shit back and forth, and I was like, how is Kindle Vilder in the NFL? This guy, it's like he's got ice skates the whole time. He's nowhere near his receiver. The receivers have the most amount of separation.
Passing against him, I think, is like almost perfect. I think a perfect pass rating is like 158.3, and quarterbacks targeting Vilder is like at 154. So it's like what are they doing? Like I was surprised they benched him, but it's good. At least they did something. So Burns is a former first round draft pick. He got burned on a move against the Lions there, but overall, he came back and played decent. So maybe Burns is the guy that can be a stopgap for the rest of this year, hopefully, because what they got out of that spot, and Nickel too was just brutal this whole season.
Well, what do you think? He was trash with them too. So
yeah, our producer Ty, he's a Steelers fan.
Okay,
loser. Well, with the guys mentioned on defense, I mean, so obviously Roquan, we have to get him signed. Jalen Johnson, he has a couple more years on his rookie deal. I mean, besides that, Eddie Jackson, I know we've signed him, but what core pieces do you think that are on the Bears now do you think are going to be on the Bears moving forward?
It's hard to say, because like the guys you mentioned for sure, but Bilal Nichols is up. Is he a guy you bring back? And if you bring him back, do you pay him huge money? I mean, I think he's a pretty good defensive end, but I'm not sure that I think he may get more on the open market, because most teams, someone will overpay, kind of like happened with Roy Robertson Harris. I mean, he was a nice player, but he got pretty good money from Jacksonville, I think it was. So did they bring back Bilal? I think a guy like Blackson, who has another year left, he's a pretty good player, but he's 28, 29 right now. So he's not really a core piece. Kairos Tonga at nose looks solid. I think he'll eventually replace Goldman if Goldman decides to step away, or if something happened with the cap. I think he has an out in his contract after this season. It'll be a pretty sizable chunk, but I mean, they could hold him one more year. But again, there's been rumors about he may step away. I'm not sure how much of that is just from the fans driven that, or if there's anything really out there, but that's all over Twitter, that, his heart's not in it, but he's playing pretty good football these last few weeks. So maybe he's just had to round back into shape.
Yeah. So while we're talking about next year, and going back to the coaching situation, if you had to pick one name, who do you think is going to be their head coach for the 2022 season?
Oh, that's a good question. There's, if they go like most teams go, they're going to pick the next young hot OC, which is probably Brian Dable, maybe Greg Roman. I don't know if that's the best way to go. I mean, if that happens, then you're basically rolling the dice. You hope they can be a leader. You hope they can make that step, but you don't know. So, maybe they really throw a ton of money at Harbaugh. I'm not sure if that's the best way to go. I'd be fine with Dave Tobe coming in. I can't see the Bears doing it because the Bears connection. I don't think that's something they'll shy away from, but you want to get a guy that has those leadership qualities, and then, put the best staff around him. And if Tobe he's been in the league for a long time, he's a guy that can come in, he could bring those guys in. He's been, in plenty of different organizations where he has a lot of connections. So it's hard to say, but I mean, as far as my favorite right now, I really don't have one.
I've seen Bieniemy's name tossed around too, but I don't think we could go back to the Chiefs well yet.
Yeah, I think they stay out of the Chiefs. There's a few guys out there that like a guy like Todd Bowles. If you're going to go a guy for defense, I think he's a guy that when he was with the Jets, I think he took him like first year playoffs. He was pretty good second year. Then he had a ton of injuries, and then that franchise was brutal, and that's why it ended with him. But but he's a well-respected guy around the league too. I mean, if a guy like Todd Bowles, maybe Byron Leftwich, if you stay with AZ. So, there's a lot of candidates out there. It's just, will the Bears get the right one this year?
I'm looking at your the Windy City Gridiron page, and you got the 27th. There was you guys had a lot of polls where it's like, if the Bears hired Jim Harbaugh, Byron Leftwich.
Oh yeah.
I'm amazed at the results for Kellen Moore. I don't know if they talk me out of it, talk to me like I'm fine, but I don't understand what like the sexiness is about Kellen Moore.
It's the Dak connection, because with Dak Prescott, I mean, he's been balling pretty good the last couple of years. And then of course, he's 33. So people think, he's the next Sean McVay. So
he scares the shit out of me.
I'm the same way. Like with a guy like that, it's hard to tell. I mean, there's only one Sean McVay. I mean, that guy came in, he knew his shit from the start. I mean, he's been in the league forever. He grew up with football. So, that's a different animal as far as his brain. I mean, he had some really top-notch coaches that he learned around. And then with a guy like Moore, he's learned around who? I mean, who are his mentors? Mike McCarthy, I mean, and then like
Jason
Garrett. What?
Yeah. I mean, like what coaching tree? He's from the Mike McCarthy coaching tree. I mean, if you want to go that far. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would leave now that they beat Ohio State, but I would love Jim Harbaugh as the head coach.
I feel like Dable would be a good pick. Like he's been in Buffalo. I could just see him standing on the sideline on a cold Bears.
He has that Chicago vibe.
Yeah, right, sure. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
And the fact that he's been with Josh Allen, like you obviously I feel like you want to get an offensive minded guy who's going to work with Fields.
Yeah. I think with Dable, I mean, a lot of the knock on him is that his run game is not the best. A lot of the yards in Buffalo is because of Josh Allen. But the same can be said with the Bears. I mean, Justin Fields is not a run first quarterback, but he gives you that same kind of threat as a runner. So there's stuff that a guy like Dable could work with in Chicago.
Right.
But I mean, I guess you're not comparing apples to oranges here, but like with Josh Allen compared to Justin Fields. And I just feel like Fields is more fragile. I mean, Allen's taking, he's going up against these linebackers and he's not sliding, he's lowering the shoulder, where I just don't see Fields doing that. And that's a huge part of the Bills running game is, having a QB draw or whatever the case is.
When they get to the goal line, he's like Taysom Hill, basically.
Yeah. That part I just don't see with Fields.
They have different builds for sure. And then with Justin Fields, he's always been a pass first guy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen he was always running college too. So, Fields would rather just sit in the pocket. And if he does scramble, he's scrambling to make a play with his arm. Whereas Josh Allen, I mean, he's grown to be that guy now where he can do that, but he'll punish you, like you said.
What do you think about Ryan Day?
Of course, the Justin Fields connection. It's you're projecting these college guys to the NFL. Most of those guys don't work out for whatever reason, but the guy
Everyone's doing great.
Yeah, it all depends on the situation. And if the guy comes in like Ryan Day, he's obviously going to come in and the quarterback's on his side. And if the centerpiece of your offense, backs the move, that carries a lot of weight for the locker room. So that'd be a good move.
And do you think the Bears will consult Justin Fields if they do fire Nagy? They'll consult him in the process for hiring a new head coach?
I've always been along the thought that you have to consult the quarterback when you're making a move, because the quarterback's, for the most part, the face of your franchise. For the most part, it's the most important position in all of team sports. But Justin Fields is only going to be going into his second year. So I don't know if the Bears will kind of give him that type of respect that a guy like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, those guys, the guys that have been doing it for a long time. But I would hope that they would at least, keep him in the loop so he knows what's going on. Because like I said, if the Bears truly believe this is the guy, they believe he's the franchise guy for the next 10, 15 years, then why not treat him as such?
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, they did that with Cutler and Trustman, I believe, right? They had Cutler in those. I don't know if it was in the meetings or I know they're at least somewhat consulting with him, which they had Bruce Arians in the building and they went with Mark Trustman. So maybe that's not the best strategy to go with.
Yeah, that's another podcast there. That's a brutal one.
Oh, Jesus. What, Max, anything else, or do you want to get to the starting five?
No, I was going to say we might as well kick it over to that.
So, Lester, you good? You need any time to, look up some Bears? I
should be okay. I'll kind of wing it. We'll see what happens. I might get mixed up with some of the guys you take, but we'll see.
And we won't, we'll go just guards, tackles.
We'll keep it in order. Okay.
Yeah. No, you go with whatever order you want.
Oh, I got you.
But it doesn't have to be left or right guard.
Yeah, like
right?
You say, Kyle as your left guard, but he's a right guard or whatever. You get two guards. Well, they're replaceable,
Yeah,
it's easy.
It's all the same. Okay.
We'll let you go first.
Okay. I'll go tackle. I'm going to go Jimbo Covert, Hall of Fame left tackle back in the 80s. And, if he didn't injure his back, he would be thought of much more higher on NFL circles. He was the real deal at left tackle.
Yeah. Jimbo. Did he, correct me if I'm wrong, he just got his number retired?
No, he just got in the Hall of Fame.
Was that what the ceremony was during the game?
This last, when was it? He went to the Hall of Fame. I think it was class 2020 and they canceled it. So they redid it all this year.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. All right, Max, you're up.
I don't know how I could pass on this guy. I'm going with Olin Kreutz.
Oh,
Just being from our generation, it's impossible to pass on him. Literally the captain of the team for the 2000s decade of the Bears. I think he punched Fred Miller at a barbecue. Like when he walked in the locker room, you knew it was like all business. Like Olin Kreutz was the guy.
How can you not like Olin Kreutz? Our producer Tyler loves Olin Kreutz. The huge Olin Kreutz guy.
Big Olin Kreutz fan. Just big line.
Kreutz is awesome. Yeah. He's I actually met him once. I used to manage a gun club back in the day, not the gun club where he had his fight at, but it was a different gun club. But I met him back then, and he was just a solid dude. He's just a real big guy, and he's just he's a real fun follow on Twitter too.
Oh, he's honestly the best, especially during the games. He's always just those petty gifts, but they're so accurate and so relatable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go tackle Tom Thayer. Big T from
he's a guard. He's not a tackle.
No, I thought he was I'm on Football Reference. I have him as I'll take him as my guard.
He's a guard. One of the
Football Reference has him as a tackle.
So, sorry, Kyle. I'm going to trust Lester on this one.
Yeah, he was one of the Black and Bruise brothers in the famed '85 team.
All right, no, that's even perfect. Then I'm going to go guard again. Kyle Long.
Oh yeah. By the way, it's a snake draft.
It's a snake draft. So
that's fine. That's fine.
I'll tell you the rules after.
That's okay. I'll figure it out as we go.
Kyle Long, 75. Love him. Think he
You
just
playing
got
him? You playing him at
activated by
guard
the
or tackle? You playing him at guard or tackle? This
Chiefs.
is the guy
I
that
have him at
flex-
guard because I know he can go both, but I'm having him at guard.
Okay. Am I up now?
Max is up.
Oh, Max is up. Okay.
Man, you stole my pick. All right, I guess I'm gonna go Mark Bortz.
Another
Guy-
good one.
Yep, guard for the Bears in the 80s, early 90s. Was on the 85 team. I think he might have won the most playoff games with the Bears on the offensive line, something like that. Bortz, second pick.
Mark Bortz-Chesky.
I love that. All right, Lester, you're up.
I'm going to go old school. Stan Jones, Hall of Fame guard for the Chicago Bears. I think he may have been one of the first guards that made the Hall of Fame. Several championships with the Bears back in the day. So Stan Jones, and then of course in a pinch, I can also play him at defensive tackle because that's those guys did that back in the day.
I love that. And then you have one more here. You have we're wrapping around. So, all right, you
Oh,
have three more, but
rapper.
you're-
Okay.
So you have another pick now.
Then I'm gonna go old school again. Bronco Nagurski. He played some center for the Bear back in the day as well. Another guy that I could put him over on defense, play some linebacker, but he made the Hall again as a center too. So I'm going old school with my draft picks here.
Bronco Nagurski.
I love that. That's probably the steal of the draft right there.
See,
Honestly, yeah.
All right, back to me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to be honest. The Bears O-line has not been great in most of our fandom, but I'm going to go Mark Colombo. I don't even know how many seasons he played with the Bears. I think I'm really not even sure, but I just remember him growing up, and he was like a big, solid white dude.
he was much better in Dallas when the Bears got rid of him. He had, I think, 4 or 5 years in Chicago, bunch of injuries. Then he finally went to Dallas, and then stayed healthy and was pretty solid for those guys.
To be honest, I only remember Mark Colombo as a Cowboy. I really don't even remember.
Yeah,
as a
see.
I know, which is crazy. All right, so now I have two. All right, am I getting lost in the snake? No,
You're right. That's correct.
I am right.
The producer's keeping you on point here.
Yeah, here we go.
Ty's got it.
Which
He's
is
writing this
hilarious
all
'cause
down.
I'm never on point. with
I
it.
know. Right? Usually, I'm the one who's keeping us on point here.
Yeah.
So now this is more of a personal favorite for me. I love this guy. I don't know why. John Tate, tackle from the Bears 05-06 run.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He was just a son of a bitch.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I have no idea.
That works. That works for an offensive lineman. You want to be a nasty son of a bitch for an old lineman, and that works.
And then my 4th round pick, I can't believe he lasted this long. And this is again in that same era. Roberto Garza.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, I'm gonna have him at center because I know he played a little center when Kreutz was out or after Kreutz's day. So
Yeah.
I'm going.
You sure they made like a Spanish Madden game one year and he was on the
Yes,
cover?
he was on the cover. Yes, that's actually perfect. All right, Max, you're up.
All right. I think we were talking about nasty motherfuckers or something like that. So I'm going to go Tevin Jenkins.
Tevin Jenkins?
Pretty sure he said something about that when he was on his draft day or something like that. I'm going with the future.
Oh, God, you know what? I was actually going to take that in the 5th round. I like that. That's a salty pick. Yeah, Lester, so these are your last 2 picks then.
My last, I'm going over my notes here, and I got Bronco as a center, but I was thinking of a different old school guy. So I'm not going to change my pick. But with Bronco, he kind of played more tackle back in the day. So I'm going to go keep it back in the old school and get the guy that I meant to take, and that's Clyde Bulldog Turner. He was the center back in the 40s era, and he got, I think, 3 or 4 rings back then. So I got a team full of old guys. I like that.
But you want to talk about mean sons of bitches. Those guys are probably the meanest.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And then I have one more pick. This is my last pick here.
Yeah.
And I got to go. What I got to go? Guard.
You have. Wait, so what did you have?
Jimbo,
You have Bronco
Stan
Nagurski as a
Jones,
center.
Nagurski and Clyde Turner.
Okay. Yeah, we got to go guard here. I guess I could. I'm surprised no one took. Well, okay.
Demarcus Webb.
Oh my God, that guy's one of the worst.
You're going to make him sick.
Gabe Karimi.
I like Gabe come out of Wisconsin. He had injuries and he just couldn't stay healthy, but I think he would have been fine if he would have done it. All right, I'm going to go one more guard. I'm going to keep it really, really old school. Another Hall of Famer, just because I like these really old guys. He played guard, I think, at 220 pounds. Danny Fortman ended up being the team doctor when he was all said and done. But I'm going really old school. This is my Monsters of the Midway old school 1940 style draft, except for Jimbo here.
I love that. This is awesome. It's a hell of an offensive line. Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's no doubt you drafted the best offensive line. Me and Kyle are just throwing in names that
that we know.
That nobody's
Glory
heard since
days, yeah.
2006.
I kept trying to think who's the Vanderbilt guy that they drafted and is it Chris Johnson or Chris Williams?
Oh yeah, Chris Williams, tackle that got hurt right away.
Yeah, from Vandy. It was Chris Williams though, not Chris Johnson.
So.
Yeah,
Chris Williams. So for me, I have an advantage because a couple of years ago we did a fantasy draft at the site with 6 of our guys, and we drafted a whole team. So all these old school names are still fairly fresh in my head.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I got the advantage.
You were ready for this.
Use it.
I was ready. I was in it.
Yeah,
Waiting for this day.
All right, Kyle, what do I need? I think I need a guard.
Yeah, you do.
All right, I'll be honest. I don't have a guard right now. So I need someone to help me out from the peanut gallery. So
for center, I'm surprised no one took Jay Hilgenberg because that was Pro Bowl 85. We're going that era. But you guys already got both 85 guards, Thayer and Bortz.
Yeah.
Yep. And Kreutz was my slam dunk first round pick.
Yeah, Kreutz was a stud.
You don't have come on. You won't take Fred Miller.
I won't. There's no way I'm lining him up next to Kreutz. That's not going to end well. All right. Do I stay young? I think I'm going to go Larry Borum.
You could play a Borum at guard. He's still young enough to go there.
You're going Devin Jenkins. Might as well just take Jason Peters. Fine.
No,
just take the whole Bears of the line this year. All right, so I need a tackle, and I'm going to go Keith Fenhorn. I got his autograph at an ALS walk. Love that guy.
That is one of my all-time favorite Chicago Bears, Keith Fenhorn.
I met him. This had to be mid 2000s, and I was 10 at the time. I shook his hand, and I was legitimately in all. His hand it encapsulated my whole hand. He had hands like semi trucks.
Back in the day, I watched him play before I watched Covert. As far as technique, Covert was much better. But what caught my eye about Fenhorn way back in the day, because I go back to the 80s, so he was he was an asshole on the line. I mean, he was the first guy that want to fight you. If you touched the quarterback, he's in your face. He played with that nasty, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you're supposed to play O-line. Okay, that's the guy, yeah. Keith Fenhorn. Yeah. That was great.
I know, and I love the. For whatever reason, I love a guy wearing number 78, 76, 78. That's why I have John Tate, Keith Fenhorn. I don't know. For whatever reason, I associate those numbers with just the baddest MF.
There it is. There it is.
No idea why. All right. So to recap, Lester, you have Jimbo Covert, Ty, help me out. Stan Jones, Bracco Nagurski, Klein Bulldog, Direct Jones. Turner. Jesus Christ. I can't even. And what was the last one? I can't
Danny Fortman.
Danny Fortman, Dr. Fortman.
I literally can't even read my own handwriting. Ty, read Max's.
Hashtag Dr. Danny. Page
Dr. Danny.
Max had Olin Kreutz, Mark Bortz, Mark Colombo. Dude loves Marks. Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borum.
Larry Borum.
We're gonna have some missed assignments on my line.
You're gonna need Juan Castillo to help you out there. And then I had Tom Thayer, Kyle Long, John Tate, Roberto Garza, and Keith Fenhorn. I'm gonna say Lester, you won this one, but
we'll put it out to the people. Let them decide.
Who knows? I might have won. We don't know yet.
No. We know you didn't win.
I don't know. It's the Bears fans now like Jenkins, so I think they may just vote for Jenkins. My guys are like, who's that? Danny Fortman? Who the hell's that? They'll have no idea who I picked. Stan Jones? Who the hell's that? 8-time Pro Bowler probably. So it's but Bears fans have no idea.
Yeah, that is true. We're pandering a little bit to the audience.
It's all right, it's okay.
But we're pandering, but you're just winning football games.
There it is.
We're getting 2 yards in a cloud of dust. You're just running it right down our throats.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh fuck. All right. Well, Lester, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Again, check out his work at Windy City Gridiron. And you could plug your handle one more time.
At Wiltfong JR, and then like I said, podcast site. We're all over the place.
Check him out. A lot of great work from himself and the Windy City Gridiron gang. Again, Lester, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Anytime,
Lester.
guys. Anytime.
NFC
Yep.
North champions
Yeah,
next year.
That was Bears are back. Thanks again, Lester Wiltfong. He is the best. Great guy. Knows so much about the Bears, way more than we do.
That
Give
was a
him
lot of
follow.
fun. We're talking about guys who, we need to hire and put in the front office. I feel like he should have been a candidate or an option. That was
Hashtag hire
discussed.
Lester.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, he should have been. All right, let's get into some gambling picks here. Big weekend for our boy Ty. He went 3-0 on Thanksgiving. He had Lions plus 3.5. Prick. Raiders plus 7 and Bills minus 4.5. And then he went 2-1 on Sunday. He had Ravens minus 4, Pats, Titans over 44.5. And he could have won 6-0. He had Vikings plus 3, but the Vikings kind of shit the bed there. So he is 19-11 on the season. I am in second. I went 3-3, and Max also went 3-3. I'm 18-12. Max is 14-16. So Max is 5 games behind Ty, and the milk is going to be delivered very soon if you don't pick it up.
500 ball is not how you gain ground, kids.
You can call me the milkman, dude.
No, we're gonna call Max the milkman.
Why don't you start putting your money where your mouth is? You're gonna make all
I'll
these.
put my money where my milk is. That's for damn sure.
You're better than sharps at this point.
I have put $0 on any of these bets to this date, and I probably should start.
No, don't start. That's when you start getting them wrong.
It's a good point. That's the only reason I'm getting them right is because there's no money involved.
Hey, we like to call those hashtag practice bets.
I'm pretty good at practicing.
That's what we call them back home.
The only kind of bets. All right, so Max, you're bringing up the rear. We'll let you start.
All right, I'm gonna kick it off with Colts minus 9 against the Texans.
Ooh, I'll give you a half point. I have it 8.5.
Perfect. I'll take it at 8.5. Tough loss to the Bucs last week. They put up a good fight. I think they're going to take it all out on the Texans.
So are they Colts? Are they at home? They're on the road, right?
They're on the road. Yep.
So they were 11-point favorites at home against the Texans, and that was with Davis Mills. Do you think being on the road and Tyrod Taylor equates to 2 points even?
No, I don't know where that. Honestly,
And they beat them 31-3.
yeah, right.
I mean, yeah, I like the Colts a lot, so that's why I'm staying away from them. But I hate that. I agree with that so much. All right, I'm in second, so I'll go. I'm gonna go Rams minus 12.5 at home against the Jags. I think this is going to be an absolute shit pumping. Rams have lost, I think, 3 in a row. They haven't won since they got Von Miller and Odell. This is a prime spot. This is a get right game. This is like when Bama plays McNeese State in November. They're just going to absolutely roll over the Jags. Give me the Rams minus 12.5.
Okay.
I was looking at that one too, for what it's worth.
I'm going to go Ravens minus 4 against the Steelers. I mean, if last week was any indication, anything, I think they've given up over 100 rushing yards in the last 2 or 3 games. Fucking Lamar Jackson, field day.
Why get off the
field
Ravens
day.
gravy train now? You call yourself a Steelers fan, but you pick the Ravens every week.
It's called being a realist, and you could be both.
I mean, he is a sharp. He's also in first place by a mile.
Yeah. Hey, take out your notebook. Maybe write some notes down.
You idiot. You fucking
Take it to
bitch.
school, dude.
I Max your dog. Home dogs bark.
Wait, we're not snaking on this?
No, we
We
don't
never
snake
snake.
on this. We just snaked with Lester.
All right, fine. I will. Man, this is tough. I'm laughing because I know we took some time to look at this.
Yeah, we
And
did.
I'm not quite there. I'm gonna go Broncos plus 10 in Kansas City.
Ooh,
They got that defense humming. They got Bradley Chubb back. I think they're in a good spot this week to cover 10 points.
I'm gonna tell you what. I hate that pick. I hate
You
it.
know it's a good one.
That's how. Yep.
The only problem is the Chiefs defense has been playing pretty well lately.
Yeah, and what do you know? You don't know what you're getting with Teddy Bridgewater. Is like he got injured last game. Drew Lock came in, fumbled on the first snap. That was
They're
pretty
going to run
funny.
the ball. They're going to run the damn ball.
Right down your throat. All right, Ty. So you had Ravens plus -4.
-4.
Ooh, I have them 4.5. Do you want that
Yeah.
half point?
That's fine. I'll take the alternate spread of -12.
Ooh, you're gonna take -12 here. If you get, I'll give you +1 game, +1 win if you want to take -12.
No, 12 seems kind of high, but I would go like +6 or -6, right? Or
Why don't you just
Double it,
shut up and
-8.
take -4.5?
yeah, I'll take them at 4.5 then.
All right. Wait, this is not. All right, stop. It's a little time traveling here, but Mike Lennon is starting for the Giants.
Holy shit. How is he still in the NFL?
Can I change my pick to Dolphins -5?
Nope.
Fuck.
Nope.
All
You can
right.
take the over, though, because Glennon's going to light it up.
Because he can see over everything.
Is it my turn?
No, I still haven't gone. Relax there,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
Relax. Well, I was gonna take the Steelers, but then you just talked me right out of it. I'm taking the Chargers +3.5.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, you are. Doesn't matter how bad they look.
I mean, I'm gonna money line them. And probably the over. I mean, I love them.
Good on you, dude.
Good on you.
I'm going Pats +2.5 against the Bills.
Ooh, you're going back to my Pats.
Oh, your Pats. Oh,
Your Pats, dude? What's a your Pat?
dude.
Yeah. Mac Jones, the future.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I mean, fuck, he's good. He's
The
good.
future.
Oh, well, I like the future.
Our tickets, cheapest tickets to that game are $53. That's a joke. Like
Is-
that is a joke.
In Buffalo too? Well, it's
Yeah.
Monday night. Not that
Come
that,
on.
that's not that should make a difference.
Division rivalry. Like, and they're both at the top of the division right now.
No, you're right. You're right. I agree, dude.
Let's go. Let's go to the game.
Fuck. I got days to kill.
I got this.
I got nothing but time. Maxi Pad, your total.
I'm going with the over in that game, in the Bills Pats game.
What's it at?
43.5.
Ooh.
It seems
Good
low.
defenses, but good offenses too. And I don't think there's any stopping either of them right now.
I'm gonna go Bears Cardinals over 45. Do we know if Kyler Murray is playing?
Are we doing this again, dude?
Stop.
I mean, do we know? Come on.
I have no idea.
He's questionable.
All right, just for everybody for reference, everybody at home, by the time we're recording this, it's Tuesday at 8:45. So I don't know if he's playing or not, but fuck it. I'm gonna say this is contingent on him playing Bears Cardinals over 45. I think the Cardinals might put up 40 themselves. Their defense is just gonna get run over, which means somehow they're gonna win like 20-17.
It's gonna be fantastic.
You're dizzy talking about the Bears right now.
I'm going Eagles Jets under 45.5.
Yeah, that's gross.
And that's a fucking lock.
That honestly, I would never take an under unless you had a gun to my head, but that is a lock.
Hey, lock it up, throw away the fucking key.
That's not a fun game.
Speaking of lock, not that this has anything to do with football, but the Cubs signed the guy named Lock St. John. No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's totally crazy and unexpected. Oh my god.
Like St. John, like the rapper.
And is there a rapper St. John?
Mm-hmm.
There's a school.
No, it's St. John's.
I
They
think you're
signed
thinking
Long
Lil
John Silvers.
All right. Well, so recap.
Oh,
Ty,
we're not doing an under.
No.
not this
If I
week.
had to pick an under, which I don't, I would say under in the Bengals Chargers game. 50.5.
If I had to pick another,
That'll be the only thing I get right, I'm sure.
if I had to pick another over, I would pick over 50.5 Bengals Chargers.
If I had to pick an over also, I was gonna go with actually I forget what my pick was, so it's not relevant.
That's our producer.
I didn't write it down.
Shed anything else, boys?
That's it, dude.
I think that'll be that.
Our dad check good episode. All right. Thanks for coming. Bear down. We'll see you next week.